have waited in line just to share this experience of Venom, Candyman, Night of the Living Dead, The Rock, Final Destination. But I want you to know you are now entering the
Cinema
Chop Shop with a top and the pop. Boom, boom, bop.
The Cinema Chop Shop.
What's going on, everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop, so park your ass right there. And while you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. Today, we're going to review Longlegs. This is directed by Osgood Perkins, who did Hansel and Gretel, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, I didn't see that damn movie. If you guys saw it, let me know. And we also starring Micah Monroe, right? And the funny thing about this is I didn't know who the hell she was, right? And so we started looking at her acting credits, and she was the blonde chick in The Guest.
Anna Peterson.
Yes.
So that was a pleasant surprise. We also got Nicolas Cage. Everybody knows who the hell Nicolas Cage is. His character was kept under wraps and kind of low key from the audience because they wanted it to be a surprise when you finally saw him. So that was pretty cool. We also got Blair Underwood. I ain't heard of Blair Underwood since freaking Set It Off. And he was licking on Jada Pinkett's belly button and shit to that song. What's it gonna be? That was the last time I even seen this dude. And then we have Alicia Witt. The one thing that I've seen repeatedly with this cast is they've either been in horror movies or they've been in Tyler Perry movies. But anyway, I digress. Let's go ahead and get into the nitty gritty. So Longlegs. This was one of my most anticipated horror movies of this year. I was looking forward to it. I was super hyped about this damn movie. Let's go a little bit into the synopsis real quick, shall we? The synopsis is there is a agent. Her name is Lee Harker, and she is trying to help her partner, Blair Underwood, catch this killer. And they're putting these pieces together. They're figuring stuff out, and the end goal is to finally catch this killer. Now, if I had to describe this movie, I would say it's like Seven meets Sinister meets Black Phone.
You didn't notice I played a polymerization card.
And especially when you see Nicolas Cage's character, you're definitely going to be like, oh yeah, I can definitely see the Black Phone resemblance. But Nicolas Cage's character reminded me of like Rocky from that Cher movie.
Cranium circumference 67 centimeters.
Mixed with Robin Williams and Miss Doubtfire.
Don't tell me not to live, just sit and putter. Life's candy and the sun's a ball of butter.
You get what I'm saying? It just was like a weird combination of the two. And then fused in with the grabber from Black Phone. It just was crazy. But anyway, how did I like this movie? Now, truth be told, I went into this movie with high expectations. This movie's been praised by a bunch of people. A lot of people say they love this damn movie. This movie had one of the best marketing campaigns, and it's produced by Neon, which is an up-and-coming production company, which I follow very closely, and I like a lot of their projects. So, you know, I had high expectations for this movie. The marketing campaign was amazing, and the trailer was amazing, but did this live up to the hype? No, not in my opinion, right? I really wanted to like this movie more than I did, but I just couldn't. I liked it. It was cool, but it just wasn't great. And that's what I was expecting from this film. I was expecting greatness. Nicolas Cage does a good job, and I heard a lot of people say, well, you couldn't even, he does such a good job, you didn't even recognize that it was Nicolas Cage. Bullshit. I knew it was Nicolas Cage off the top. He acts like Nicolas Cage, and you could tell like he freestyled the shit out of it. Was that a bad thing? Nah, he did a really good job. But at the same time, let's stop bullshitting ourselves and saying that didn't feel like Nicolas Cage. Another thing I'm hearing a lot is that this is the modern day Silence of the Lambs. Bullshit. This is not a modern day Silence of the Lambs. This is a imitation of Seven at best. But it just feels like it's not a super original idea. But is it poorly executed? Yes and no. The cinematography in this movie is fantastic. When you're watching this movie, it's filmed great. There's some great shots. The fact that the camera pans from full view to like kind of like the YouTube Shorts view, I thought that was really cool. And then it goes back. Just certain little things that they did added like these cool, creepy elements to it. The music's coming in, and whoever mixed this shit did an amazing job because there's like, you're watching the movie, then low key you'll hear something like panned on the one side of the room, and you kind of your eyes will kind of look that way. But it makes you think that you're actually there. I thought that was really cool as well too. I felt like the makeup design for Nicolas Cage could have been a little bit better, but at the same time, it was pretty decent because he had a weird ass looking nose. That nose looked weird. It looked like a chewed up piece of sausage. But anyway, I'll get back to that. I mean, when we do see the deaths and the killings and things like that, it had some decent looking practical effects, but you could tell like it was touched up with CGI. I'm not a huge fan of CGI blood splatter. You could tell that the splatter effect was CGI. I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm like, you should have gone old school with that. I know that a lot of people are going to be a fan of Lee Harker's character because she comes off as bland, she comes off as dull, she comes off as like unresponsive, and there's a reason for that. But when you get the reason for that, you feel a little unsatisfied. You're like, did you really base this whole character's dryness off of this situation here? I felt like it was something else going on, but I was quickly, my mind was changing the third act. I can tell that it's going to rub people the wrong way. I know that some people aren't going to like her character. Her character might even make this movie drag in bits, but at the same time, I would say kind of keep with it and then see if you feel like it pays off in the third act. Again, Nicolas Cage does a pretty good job. Blair Underwood does a pretty good job. I actually like Alicia Witt's character. My wife didn't like her character. She said every time the lady came on the screen, it annoyed her, wanted to put her to sleep. But I thought that Alicia Witt did a pretty decent job. She kind of reminded me of Carrie's mother. I mean, the cinematography in this movie was fantastic. I felt like the story was well paced, but it's just that the story didn't give me nothing new. It wasn't anything that I didn't already see before. And it does have some creepy elements to it. There are some cinematic moments, especially in the third act, where you see like this certain figure, and I felt like that figure was kind of haunting. I thought that was pretty cool. But again, this movie does not do anything that we have not already seen before. And that's the one thing that kind of drives me up the wall. Like, if you're going to do something that we've already seen before, at least do it in such a manner where it gives the audiences a kind of like a new fondness to it. Example, Hereditary. We've seen that storyline done plenty of times. Rosemary's Baby. You've seen it with Exorcist, so on and so forth, right? But at the same time, Hereditary did something a little bit different, and it made it something original and something that we all enjoy. I felt also this movie shot its load a little bit too early, man. I was expecting a fantastic twist at the end, and that's what I was holding out for. I'm like, this movie is okay. It's an all right movie. It's an okay movie, but this third act, if the third act gives me something really good, it's going to push it over the top. It gives you something in the second act that basically tells you how the third act is going to end. And I feel like that kind of took away the momentum of this movie. And it made it a little bit predictable, and I felt like they maybe should have held back on that stuff, and I felt like it would have made it a little bit more dramatic in a way, because I felt like since they already kind of gave it to us, I felt like the third act was already kind of ruined, and the climax in the third act kind of was like, I don't know, man. I really wanted a little bit more from this movie, and it sucks that I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. But I really thought that this was going to be a lot better than it was. Is this a bad movie? Of course not. It's not a bad movie. Is it a great movie? Of course not. It's not. But it's somewhere in the middle. But this year has been filled with a lot of horror movies that I've had high expectations for, but they've kind of fell short, and I'm kind of disappointed with that. So hopefully the Platform 2 comes out and blows my socks off. I mean, we still have, what else do we have coming out this year that I'm looking forward to? I know Terrifier 3 is coming out this year. Looking forward to that. Also, Cuckoo, I think, is coming out this year. Joker 2 is coming out this year. And I don't know, there's some more horror stuff coming out this year. But I think I'm take a step back, because I keep having these good expectations for these movies because of the trailers and things like that, and they kind of disappoint me. So this movie is not the next Silence of the Lambs. It is a sophisticated black phone at best. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give you my grade. So here on the Cinema Chop Shop, we grade movies in 3 ways. Count them 3 ways. Either you get bodied and sent to the bowels of hell, and I tell you your movie is basura, homie, or I give you a big fat meh, I mean it's más menos, mediocre, mid-range, mid-grade, mid-range jumper, all of that other shit. Or I tell you that it's spared. I say it's great, it's fantastic. Stop what you're doing. Go to the damn movie theaters right now and cop a ticket. I'm gonna give this movie a big fat meh.
Not quite my tempo.
Not impressed.
but it can be better.
Meh.
But the TV gave me the impression that...
We said meh. M-E-H. Meh.
Yeah, you heard it, folks. I'm giving this movie a big fat meh. And the reason why is because I had great expectations for this movie. It had a great campaign. It had some good actors and actresses, but it was just something missing from this movie. It may be the lack of originality. It may be the dullness of Micah's character. I don't know. It's something about this movie that just didn't push it on over the top. I think a really great third act probably would have did it. Maybe I have to wait for it to be released. Maybe check out some special features. Maybe see if it has an alternate ending, something like that. But this movie, as is, as it stands right now, this cut that I just saw in the movie theater, it is not it. Pretty mediocre. It's pretty, and I can see why a lot of people are not going to like this movie. I hope it makes money, right? And I mean, it sets it up to the possibility of having a franchise. But I don't think that word of mouth is going to get around and praise this movie, because as is, the only people I see praising this movies are critics. I see people, regular folks, the ones that are going to see this movie, a lot of them are saying that they're bored. A lot of people are saying that they don't like it. A lot of people are saying it's not enjoyable. So you really got to take that in consideration, because these are the people that are paying money to go watch this movie. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just keeping it 100. I'm just being honest with you guys. I don't think the movie was all that great. I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's somewhere in between. So that's my review. Let me know if you agree or disagree, whatever the case may be. Drop it in the comment section down below. And you are now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop. Hope you guys have a great day. And adios, homies.
I want to play a game. Subscribe now. The choice is yours. You're now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop.